It's been a hot minute since I've stepped into the DC Multiverse here on YouTube, but today, courtesy of McFarlane Toys, we're going to be looking at the Joker Death of the Family version. Now, this version of this character is mostly a reuse with an alternate head here, but I put up some comic material so you could see that. We're going to go ahead and dive into articulation first, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about what's going on with this figure. So let's kick things off starting with the head. We have some side-to-side movement, and then we have some side-to-side pivot action on the head. And then if we flip it forward, we can see that the head looks up, it looks down, and yeah, so nice articulation. The arms go out, the arms go down, they go around, they go in and out like so. Of course, we have that bicep cut right there, and then we have the double jointed elbows for those who need that, and then we have a rotation and hinge at the hand, so that works out pretty well. Now, in terms of the upper body articulation, he goes back quite a bit. He does go forward a little bit. We've seen this previously with other versions. He does rotate side to side at the top tear as well as side to side pivot. The lower body does the same thing. I will point out on this buck that we've seen before, just be careful because as you move stuff around, the crotch area does become a little disfigured, if you will. But the legs do kick out and do the splits. He does kick forward like so. He does go back. We have a little bit of thigh articulation right there with some movement. We do have a double bend at the knee, which works out nice. And then, of course, we have rotation at the ball hinge. It does go down. It doesn't go up as much. We do have some ankle pivot action. And then we got a toe hinge. So all in all, not too bad. Now, the design of the character. This is probably the most controversial part about this guy. There's a lot of reuse going on here. As you can see in the artwork here, he does have a purple suit, but he has a different sort of tie, and the placement of the flower is on the opposite end of this figure. Some may like that, some may not. I'm just pointing it out so you guys know what's going on with it. I know the garage overall look is the definitive look for this version of the Joker, and DC Collectibles did a fine job. But for the suited version here, we got a lot going on, so you're going to have to decide what works best for you in that aspect. Now, in terms of the head sculpt with this guy, it is done quite well. I mean, it's a $20 figure here. You can see all the different layers, the skin, the different color eyes, the teeth, the exaggerated smile stretched out, the hair, all that looks good. Where it starts to change a little bit is the band around the head. As you can see on this side of the figure, the paint's not complete. I don't know if that's just a factory error, and even on the back we have that issue. But I do like the head sculpt. I do want to point that out. You know, when it comes to this guy, there's going to be a lot of people who are on the fence with it. You've had a lot of Jokers recently, quite a few with this buck. So when you're purchasing it, you're going to have to decide what works best for you. Now, real quick, here's a quick size roundup. I put a whole bunch of 6 to 7 inch scale stuff in there so you can see how it stacks. Obviously, there's a ton of action figures out there. This is just a sampling of some of the stuff out on the market in the world today. So there is that. As for accessories, we get a Joker card, we get a display base, we get a cool battle axe, which is a nice welcome considering we've gotten a ton of crowbars with the Joker as of late. This thing's got a nice sculpt to it. It could benefit from a wash a little bit, but it's cool to see that we have something different for this guy to use. And you could create a lot of mayhem with it in toy photography or on a display stand. Overall, do I like the figure? Yes. Was I going to purchase it? Yes, I was, because I don't have this version of the Joker in my collection. I never had that DC Collectibles one. I do like it, despite some of the flaws with the design, but, you know, it's a clever reuse, so take it as what it is. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Check out Comic Crusaders for more fun. Special thank you to McFarlane Toys yet again. And until we meet again, great googly moogly.